I don't think we're doing your arms justice.
We're not even close.
In that
needs to be shot.
Yes.
That was shot in the closet upstairs.
Because
you get push-ups in beforehand.
You did?
No.
You're showcasing some pythons right now.
Oh, God.
We're coming into our own. TB12, we're starting to lean out.
There we go.
Little kale, little protein. All right? You feel me? Lauren, real quick, getting back to what CY said. That's why it's a 162-game season. I always err on the side of talent and athleticism winning the day, right? I think Toronto Blue Jays, certainly the Yankees got off to a meteoric start. The Toronto Blue Jays, everyone wants to say they're too right-handed. I'm going to trust the fact that Vladdy's coming out of his doldrums. Bichette's going to get hot at some point. He had a bunch of hits last night. Matt Chapman's got to figure it out at some point. So let it breathe. We have a tendency to want to, panic when guys go cold for a little bit and then fall in love with them when they get hot. They'll be okay. Their pitching staff's going to give them a chance. Okay, this was the game I was focused on last night. 9:38 p.m., dialed in, watching Mike Trout, Hyunjin Ryu, Brandon Marsh, Ohtani on the bump. And I thought it was really interesting last night. Let's dive in on George Springer. Somebody's got numbers off Ohtani. Not many people do. Ohtani gave up last night his first home run on a fastball this year. So watch him go to work. I think sometimes for me, Ohtani falls into that Yu Darvish where they like to nickel and dime and show all their stuff too quick. I'd like to see him almost establish his heater a little bit with more dominance. It's 96 to 98 miles an hour. There's no reason in a 2-2 count that he has to nickel and dime with a George Springer. So what happens? You know you're getting a heater at some point because he doesn't want to walk you. He could have took ball 4 right there. Heater, down and away, George does what he does, okay? George Springer is one of the best leadoff hitters of all time. That is his 10th leadoff homer for the Toronto Blue Jays. This is a little history. We'll go back to 2018 with Ohtani. He's in the book, Ohtani, multiple times. He's 6 for 12 with 2 home runs, 4 ribbies. He's got a .538 on base percentage, and he hit his 48th leadoff bomb to tie and pause that. Let that soak in right there. You should just leave that up. 48th leadoff home run to tie him with my old teammate Ian Kinsler, who dive in on the back of his baseball card. He doesn't get enough love for what he was doing. This is the guy. By the way, look at these cleats, Roflo.
Look at that.
Is that unbelievable?
Jeez.
Now we have pillows on our feet. This guy was pounding nails to the bottom of his shoes. And don't sleep on the hamstring and quad popping. Ricky Henderson bringing me back to my youth.
That's quite a shot you got there.
I love it.
Glad you paused it on that particular shot.
I figured you'd like that shot. Let's dive in right here. 81 leadoff homers.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Oh, my God.
Yup. Look at him.
Good Lord.
Doing it. Craig Biggio. Another one, 53 leadoff homers. My old teammate Alfonso Soriano, 54 leadoff homers. So George Springer's in rarefied air, and I always remember A.J. Hinch. One of the first years we were doing this, Lauren, when we interviewed him. I asked him, why are you leading off George Springer? He profiles as a middle-of-the-order run producer. And he said he's the most energetic guy in our clubhouse. He bursts in the door every day and wants to smack the opposition in the face. And I think, outside of Ricky Henderson, George Springer has kind of changed with Alfonso Soriano, how teams kind of value that leadoff spot. There's not too many guys there that are not fitting that profile. The Acuñas of the world when they're healthy. So George Springer, little domination right there against Ohtani. Okay. You know how I feel about Michael Nelson. Best player there is. I think we found his kryptonite. Hyunjin Ryu, and I didn't notice going into this game, let's dive in, has owned him.
Wow.
0 for 13 in his career. I mean, how do you own anybody? He has to have one flaw in his game. Offense, defense for days, hitting the ball with his core, goes deep every time he's in an all-star game. But there is something he is not picking up. Pause this real quick. Bring up the spray chart of how he attacks him right here. Take a look at this. 6 different pitches, coming at you from all different angles, kind of filling it up, getting him in that rocking chair, going away, in, up, down.
Wait, this is to Trout?
This is to Trout. So picture Mike Trout right here, Lauren. This is from a catcher's perspective, okay? Let's dive in. I went back. Me and Bader took a look at some of his ABs. Look at 2013. Don't you dare run that back. Don't you ever try and bunt again. He tries to bunt right here, a little closed off. And this is when Ryu first broke into the big leagues with the Dodgers. 2013 was his first year, staying away, eventually getting him on a fastball down and away. Look at Mike. Boom, see ya. Punch, ticket. Let's fast forward a little bit more. Let me take you inside 2014. How did Ryu attack him? Anything different? Heater away again. Now, fast forward me to his best year in the big leagues, 2019, where he was an all-star and an ERA title leader. Now he's got a feel for everything, so it's just not heater away. Now we're going to start moving the plate on him. We're eventually going to get him with a nasty cutter in, change up away, another change up away that he doesn't get a fish on, and then he goes backdoor cutter, 88 miles an hour, and punches his ticket. It's just interesting. Last night, sitting there watching, he gave him pitches in the middle of the plate to hit, and he just does not. I mean, run that back real quick. You don't see Mike miss this pitch. This is 89 middle. I know he's trying to go in, but he misses right over the heart of the plate. That ball's on a tee, and it beats him to the spot. And that was all night. He just doesn't see him. 88 middle of the plate. So everybody's got that guy. And maybe Mike Trout, maybe Hyunjin Ryu is that guy for Mike Trout. So I thought we love on Mike so much. It was the first time I had ever seen him kind of not be comfortable in the box. And then Brandon Marsh. Can we give him a little love? You've been talking. You texted me last night. You're like, he's a darn good ball player.
Yeah, he's really good.
Second round pick. He was a football star, not too far from where I live now in Buford, Georgia, Buford High School. 2013, 2014 wide receiver, state champion. Then quits football to focus strictly on baseball for his senior year, and becomes a second round pick with the Anaheim Angels. And this has been a grind for him, run this. This just didn't come easy. He was always just a freak athlete that once he committed his time to baseball, it wasn't this meteoric rise through the minor leagues. He had some struggles. He had to figure some things out. But man, he looks really good. He's playing defense. Yeah, Roflo, doing it from all angles. And that's why you see him and the Joe Adells and the Taylor Wards, where they could release a guy like Justin Upton in spring training because they felt comfortable, like he's going to play every day. And this is swinging high school. Run that back for me real quick. And that's the beauty of multi-sport stars in high school. Once you dedicate yourself to one sport, it comes fast. It really does, because you're not thinking. When I used to play football, I wasn't thinking about baseball, and when I was playing baseball, I wasn't thinking about football. But once I gave it up, it was like, all right, here we go. And it's almost like you become just locked in on what you're doing. But not much has deviated on what he did in high school in March of 16. Run this one more time, we'll get out. Good-looking ball player.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
He offensively, he's power at the plate, good
Adds
base
value
runner.
all over the place, right? We talk about that all the time. Plays D, knocks, runs the
I really
bags.
like watching him play.
Looks like Forrest Gump when he was running.
Good stuff. All right, DeRo.
All right.